Alright, we are back for round 1 on the play. I kept this hand which is not great, but I think Thoughtseize makes it decent enough because with Thoughtseize I hopefully can buy enough time where I can use Karn and be in great shape. Um, and making my land drops and having a bunch of mana is not really an issue when I have Karn. Now the thing is, my opponent has Library of Alexandria, which is very bad for me. Since I have Thoughtseize, it's not the worst, because at least they cannot draw on turn 1. That's still very bad though. I'm gonna pick Chase here, but yeah, I don't really like seeing that. Yeah, they cannot draw on turn 1, but after that they will start to draw 2 cards each turn, and I'm probably gonna lose to that if I don't draw something like Imp to Rack or... well, that's pretty clunky. Yeah. I mean, I could run it now and hope they just drew a spell I can take, but I think I'd rather just wait and use it after that. Even though using it now would mean I could stop the library. I don't really think it's the best thing to do. I think I will use it now though. Got Disenchant. So yeah, I can just remove all these. So yeah, they have just a bunch of planes. Flooded Strand, Simulacrum. Now the question is, do I want to recall now to play around potential counterspell? Yeah, probably, yeah. I was thinking that maybe I should have, recalled first in case I were to draw Imp to Track, but actually I think it's wrong to do so, just because if they did draw a counterspell first, it would be pretty bad for me. Okay, 1 plane's out of their hand. And I'm not doing match here, it's pretty bad for me. I've been drawing a good amount of lands though. 8 lands for 5 spell, yeah, it's kinda bad. At least recall kinda means I'm still in the race despite them having library, but it's not going well for me right now. I guess now the opponent is thinking about using library or playing Simulacrum. They choose to use library instead, which, I don't know, could be right. Diabolic Edict, that's not great. I'm playing my blue lands because I want to be able to use Cryptic if I draw that, but I guess this turn I could have played Bloodstained Admirer and fetch a black, so I'm less likely to draw a land. But I do have Brainstorm in my deck, so keeping the fetch in hand does make sense, I think. It does make more sense than trying to have less lands, basically. So I guess I will play Simulacrum. Kind of weird that they did not use Scroll Rack first, because you can Scroll Rack things you don't want on the top and then Simulacrum to shuffle. And they had a lot of planes, so it looks like this could have been good. But I guess they have Flooded Strand anyway if they want to shuffle. So there is that. I think I'll probably just get rid of the Simulacrum. I mean, it's making... I will let my opponent draw a card, which is not the best, but I kind of want to have... I kind of want nothing on the battlefield when I cast Karn. And I'm pretty likely to try to cast it next turn. Unless they do something that makes me want to play otherwise, basically. So my opponent pretty much has access to their whole deck here, kind of. Because 9 cards with Scroll Rack means, yeah, there's only 12 cards they cannot use in their, I guess a bit less now, but they can do a bunch of things. Okay, Bribery is not very good against me, which is the good news. Yeah, I have the Engine, but this is not, it's fine, but it's not the most threatening thing. They drew with Library main phase, which is kind of weird because now they will have to discard. So I don't really know why they did it this way. Is there any reason to do it now? And I think you'd rather just wait, right? They have a 1-drop. Well, I would not have expected to see Soldier of Pantheon from my opponent's deck. We drew Mind Twist. Mind Twist is pretty interesting, but jamming Karn when the opponent is tapped out is also really good. And getting rid of the Worm Coil. But Mind Twist for 6 seems pretty sick. Could Mind Twist for 6, get drained for 6 by my own Worm Coil, and then jam the Karn. It's probably safer. And then my opponent cannot library, they are left with 1 card. They can draw cards, scroll rack 2, so they will have access to 4 cards basically next turn. I don't know. The thing is, if I run Karn and they use something like Banishing Light or... Well, I do have O-Ring, but they could have Banishing Light or the vote thing, Council Judgment. I think I'm just gonna Mind Twist first and then Karn. Even though I will not get the final card, this should still be pretty good because it's, you know, Mind Twist is random. So, and we saw Daze game 1, we do have Force of Will, so they cannot counter that without any mana. Okay, so we got Unexpectedly Absent, which is good, Sword of Body and Mind, which could have been threatening, and Swords to Plowshare. And a Plains. Okay, and the Flood Strand. Alright, pretty good. Pretty good. So they are scroll racking right now, which means it's kind of good news for me. They don't have anything great in hand right now, at least. They put on top. Now they might do something good, but we'll see. I will just take my 6 here. We just have to hope they did not draw a counterspell in the meantime, which they could have, but if they do, oh well, that's, you know, that's annoying, but it is what it is. I mean, get rid of the Worm Coil because it's annoying, and I can just exile it, and even if they deal with Karn, at least I got a bit of value out of it. So yeah, leave the Skin Render to block. And it looks like they did not draw anything good with Scroll Rack, and now they will Scroll Rack again. I guess they are putting 3 cards, so yeah, still fine. Drawing 3 more cards, but my opponent is... And I just conceded. Alrighty. Good. So how do you beat Library turn 1? You beat it with the Mind Twist. That's how you do it. That was sweet, and I think it could have been slightly worse if I had played Karn first, because then they would have been able to Unexpectedly Absent for a bunch. Yeah, probably it would probably not have been the worst, but it would still have been pretty annoying. So yeah, we got there. Blue-white control of some sort with some Spectral Procession and Soldier of Pantheon, which is kind of weird in a deck that looks control-y. Alright, again, I think I have a great matchup against other control decks, so I'm fairly happy with that. Could see the Fiend being decent. Necrotal and Skin Render are looking fine, especially if my opponent is playing some random cheap creatures. Library is annoying, but there's nothing I can really do. I mean, I could, you know, splash Vindicate, which can get rid of it, but I don't think it's worth it. I could see cutting Skin Render. My opponent seems pretty control-y. They did not show a ton of creature. Well, I guess they do have a Sword of Body in mind, so they probably have a couple creatures around. I don't think Diabolic Edict is going to be great in this matchup. Like, if my opponent is playing some random 2-1 for 1 and Spectral Procession, a Sacrifice effect is not looking amazing. Alright. Kind of weird because I said the Fiend was not great in control and I had enough other card draw spells, but I ended up siding it in all matches so far. I think it's pretty good against control though. It's just not something I want to be playing against some type of mid-range deck. Like if we are facing something like Jund, like a deck that would be similar to... They put me on the play? What? I don't think there's any matchup in Vintage Cube where you want to be on the draw. Even if you are playing control and the opponent is playing control. Even if you have a library in your deck. They mulligan to 6 and put the card on the bottom. That seems very wrong, though. My hand is amazing, by the way. Mesmeric Fiend with Force of Will backup into turn 3 Ashok. That's about the best I can do. Mana Vault. Okay. Well, I'm glad I have the Fiend and a Force of Will to make sure they don't do anything too crazy, but Mana Vault turn 1 is not something you want to be facing. Alright, what are we getting today? Ooh. Armageddon. I don't really want them to Armageddon. I guess I could Armageddon next turn. Yeah, I really don't want that to happen. Armageddon and then drop a land. I can leave them with great. I think I'm gonna pick the Armageddon. I don't really want that to happen. Anticipate is kinda good, but like, you know, they will probably pick something threatening with Anticipate, and I can just something whatever. I can just Force of Will whatever threatening thing they took with Anticipate. I think this is just better than taking the. Yeah, Armageddon is annoying. I don't really wanna. Don't really want them to do that right now. But now the plan is just, you know, drop the Ashok, start to meal, counter whatever annoys me with Force of Will, and hopefully win from that position. Maybe start dropping a few creatures with Ashok if I get some good stuff, but... What did I get? What did I got? Whoa. A Jace and a Plains, and there's a Blade Splicer under the Ashok. Okay, pretty good. I could see myself getting a Blade Splicer next turn. It's a pretty good card. It's fairly threatening. Kinda depends on what they do, obviously, but... Yeah, I could see that being decent. Colonnade, alright. So they have Island and Anticipate. They will probably Anticipate end of my turn. I don't really think I want to research now. I could research and hope to hit a blue card, but I think it's slightly safer to just wait on that. And I don't know, I think I'll get myself a Blade Splicer. I think it's good enough. Yeah, it's a good amount of value, and yeah. How do I do that? Okay, right. Yeah, it's pretty good. It means I'm gonna meal my opponent less quickly, but it doesn't really matter. Like, if Ashok lives long enough, it's still gonna be good. And here I have something threatening, so I have basically now two things my opponent has to deal with, like my board, which is pretty good, and Ashok. So they probably got something good off the Anticipate, unless they are very unlucky. So they have an island, a probably pretty good card, and two unknown, I think. Knight of the White Orchid. Yeah, sure, you can have that. And land tax. Alright. I guess I will try to not play any other land. I kind of want to play other lands, though. Let us think. Ooh, I got Council Judgment. My open deck is busted. Sol Ring, Mana Vault, and Green Monolith? What the hell? What the hell? I do have a Mana Vault, Mana Creep, but I did not see it once. Yeah, Lentax, Knight of the White Orchid, not the best combo. Kinda wanna play a land so I can hardcast Force of Will. Kinda don't because of land tax. I don't know. Hmm. It's close. It is pretty close call. I guess I can have my open hit land drops. I don't really care too much about that. If they want, they can kill my Ashok with Colonnade right now. But if they want to do that, they have to tap one of their big mana artifacts. So, not even sure it'd be that good for them. Maybe I should have attacked with Starpit, but then it's kind of weird because the main point was to be able to hardcast Force of Will. So no, probably not. I think you can either attack with Starpit and not play a land, or play a land and leave Force of Will back up. I mean, as an option. But yeah, Bremas. Yeah, you can have a Bremas, I think. And it's a Tignet, sure. I can just double block Bremas with Golem and Blade Splicer. That's fine. That is fine. Okay, let's mill some more. And here I think I will try to hit a blue card, because otherwise I'm not doing much. And I kind of want to be doing something, right? No blue card, but a Liliana as well as a Thoughtseize. Okay. That is quite good. I cannot really discard Swamp because I might want to cast Liliana right now. I kind of doubt it though. My opponent has 3 cards in hand. Yeah, playing Liliana is kind of appealing, but I think playing Thoughtseize is just much safer. They have a ton of mana. I don't really want anything too silly to happen. I guess I could have known they only had 3 lands. If I had just checked the land tax. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay, that was bad, I guess. The thing is, if they are getting some more lands here, then they are even more likely to be dead to Ashiok. I think there was a way for me to be sure to assess that they had 6 land though in hand. I mean 3 lands. Yeah, I probably messed up. I should have probably just checked the just keep track of the revealed card, and yeah, that was kind of lame. Okay, so we know they have 6 land in hand. Yeah. So now they will animate Colonnade and beat down the Ashiok, I guess. Bremas is attacking 2. Alright. Alright. This is attacking me. I think they could have chosen to attack Ashiok with the token, so it's kind of weird. I think they'd rather have attacked Ashiok. I guess it doesn't matter a ton. Either way, we'll make the double block I was talking about before. If they top deck a Reamfall in the meantime, oh well. I get 2 for 1, but I don't really care. And otherwise, we can just be happy. And they choose to kill Blade Splicer instead of the Golem. Weird. Weird stuff. And this is a Solemn Simulacrum. Alright, and I know they have 5 lands in hand. Okay. So I will probably just jam the Karn and eat the Colonnade, and then my opponent doesn't really have any good attack. And yeah, I mean... And I can pitch Shadow Mage to Force of Will if needed. And they are very soon going to be milled, so... I think we have pretty good control of the game here. Alright, let's jam the Karn. El Karnarino. And eat El Colonnade. Alright, not sure what my opponent can really do to get out of that. I mean, without the Force of Will, I think there are a couple spells that could Yeah, I mean, the thing is, now my opponent needs to deal with Ashok and with Karn, so they need to deal with two Planeswalker that are, they are both gonna win the game if they are not dealt with which is already pretty tough to deal with, and then there's the Force of Will, so yeah. Looks like we got there, though. Again, this is not really surprising me. I think I have an amazing matchup against most other control deck because of, the amount of card draw and discard I have. But obviously things went pretty well for me. Once again. Yeah. But I definitely fucked up the Thoughtseize. I think I could have known about them having 3 lands. I was not really paying enough attention, though. So yeah, that was round 2. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Feel free to drop a like if you enjoyed the video, and see you for the final.